Welcome back. Today's video is packed with detailed insights about all remarkable dirty Washington quarter dollars. These coins are not just common change, they represent a blend of history, art, and most importantly, significant value in today's auction markets. Let's start with the first coin on our list, the most valuable United States Washington quarter dollar 1995, featuring the large date variety with demint mark. What makes this particular coin incredibly special is that it comes in a rare red color, despite being rusty and dirty, a condition that might turn off some collectors at first glance. But in the world of numismatics, condition isn't the only factor that determines value. Rarity, historical significance, and unique characteristics weigh heavily too. In fact, this coin has auctioned for well over $400,000 in recent years, making it a true treasure for any serious collector or investor. The 1995 Washington quarter itself belongs to a long line of quarters that trace their origins back to 1932, when the Washington quarter was first introduced to honor the nation's first president, George Washington, designed by the sculptor John Flanagan. This quarter's obverse features a dignified profile of Washington, symbolizing strength and unity. The reverse originally depicted an eagle with outspread wings, but since 1999, the quarter has undergone multiple design changes under the State Quarters program and later series. However, the 1995 coin still belongs to the classic design era, making it highly desirable. This particular 1995 large date demint mark red color quarter is part of a limited mintage at the Denver Mint. The demint mark indicates that it was produced in Denver, Colorado, one of the key mint facilities in the United States. The large date variety refers to a specific die variation in which the numbers in the date are larger and more pronounced than the standard issue. This subtle difference is crucial for collectors because it creates scarcity. Fewer coins were struck with the large date die, especially in the red color condition. Now, let's talk about the red color attribute and the rusty, dirty condition. Most circulating quarters from the 1990s are composed primarily of copper nickel-clad metal, which over time can oxidize and change color, often dulling to gray or brown tones. However, some coins retain traces of their original mint luster or copper-rich surfaces that show red hues. The red color on this 1995 D quarter is a result of residual copper exposure, which is highly prized because it is rare to find coins from this era with such coloration. Despite the rusty, dirty condition, this red coloration signals that the coin hasn't been overly cleaned or altered, preserving an important aspect of its natural aging process. From a mintage standpoint, the Denver Mint struck over 436 million quarters in 1995, but the large date variety in red color with the demint mark is much less common. The exact number of surviving specimens in this specific condition is uncertain, but it is believed to be in the low thousands or less, especially considering the impact of circulation and wear. This scarcity contributes heavily to the coin's market value. Collectors are particularly drawn to this coin because it represents a rare die variety combined with a unique color preservation. The fact that it can command upwards of $400,000 or more at auctions today might seem staggering for a modern quarter, but the numismatic community understands the power of rarity and condition nuances. Auction houses specializing in rare coins, such as Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, have reported strong competitive bidding on similar coins, especially when accompanied by certification from grading companies like PCGS or NGC confirming the large date die variety and color attributes. Errors and anomalies on this coin are generally minimal, as the 1995 quarters were struck with high-quality dies. However, some specimens exhibit faint die clashes or minor doubling on the date, further increasing their desirability among specialists. The large date die itself is considered a notable variant error because it differs from the standard issue in a way that collectors can identify without magnification, enhancing its appeal to both novice and expert collectors. Beyond the intrinsic metal value and face value of 25 cents, this coin's worth is driven entirely by collector demand. The rich historical context of the Washington quarter, combined with the rarity of this large date mint mark variety in red, rusty, and dirty condition, has created a unique market dynamic where serious bidders are willing to pay premium prices. This coin symbolizes the intersection of history, artistry, and investment potential, making it one of the most valuable quarters of its era. Next up, the most valuable United States Washington quarter dollar, 1995, this time featuring the large date variety with a P mint mark in circulated condition. Unlike the Denver minted D quarter we just discussed, this one was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark. While the Philadelphia Mint historically produced billions of coins, the 1995 large date B quarter is a notable exception, with unique traits and collector interest that have pushed its auction value to well over $200,000 in recent sales. The Philadelphia Mint, founded in 1792, is the oldest mint facility in the United States and has played a pivotal role in American coinage history. The 1995 quarters minted there continue a long tradition of producing high-quality circulating coins, but the large date variety from Philadelphia is rarer than most people realize. Like its Denver counterpart, the large date means the digits in the date are larger and more prominent, a subtle but distinct die variation. This coin, in circulated condition, means it has been used in everyday transactions and shows we're consistent with handling over time. Despite this, the 1995 large date B quarter stands out for several reasons. The mintage for this variety at Philadelphia was significantly lower compared to the regular small date issues, which were the dominant variety for that year. While the Philadelphia Mint struck over 334 million quarters in total for 1995, the large date die was only used on a small fraction of those, making surviving examples scarce. The design features of this quarter remain faithful to the classic Washington quarter motif. The obverse bears the iconic profile of George Washington, rendered by John Flanagan, capturing the dignity and respect due to the nation's first president. The reverse features the bald eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, symbolizing readiness for war and desire for peace, timeless American values reflected in coinage. One important note about this Philadelphia large date quarter is that it tends to show minor die characteristics such as slight doubling in the date or mint mark area. These minute details are highly prized by die variety collectors because they highlight the intricate processes behind coin production and provide a tangible connection to the minting history. Such error varieties, though subtle, enhance the coin's collectible appeal and contribute to its market value. Collectors value this coin not only for its scarcity, but also for the story it tells about the minting practices of the mid-1990s. During this period, the U.S. Mint was transitioning toward commemorative and state quarter series, making classic Washington quarters from the mid-90s increasingly sought after by collectors looking to complete series sets or own rare die varieties. In terms of market value, even circulated specimens of the 1995 large date B quarter have sold for amounts far exceeding their face value. Recent auction results confirm prices starting around $400,000, depending on the coin's exact condition, provenance, and certification status. These prices demonstrate how a combination of historical significance, rarity, and unique die variety can drive tremendous value in the collector market. The collector interest in this coin extends beyond casual hobbyists to serious investors and institutions that understand the coin's potential appreciation over time. Auction houses have seen increasing demand for such modern rarities, especially from collectors focusing on Washington quarter varieties or modern errors. Certified coins with professional grading tend to command higher prices, especially when authenticated by leading organizations such as PCGS or NGC. Errors or anomalies on this coin are generally less dramatic than older coinage but include die doubling or slight misalignments that occur naturally during the minting process. These imperfections serve as a fingerprint of the coin's production and increase its uniqueness. For collectors interested in the subtle art of die varieties and minting errors, the 1995 large date B quarter represents an exciting opportunity to own a piece of numismatic history. In summary, the 1995 large date P mint mark Washington quarter in circulated condition embodies a perfect blend of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. While it may not have the striking red color of its Denver cousin, its scarcity and die variety make it just as valuable and sought after. The market has responded with enthusiasm, driving prices above $200,000, proving that even modern quarters can become prized collectibles when rare traits come together. Next up, we have the most valuable United States Washington quarter dollar from 1983, a large date variety featuring a rare and intriguing P mint mark error. This coin, especially in a dirty circulated condition, holds an astonishing value in today's auction market, soaring well beyond the $100,000 mark. At first glance, it might seem unusual that a quarter, especially one that looks worn or dirty, could reach such an impressive price, but the story behind this coin is as rich as its history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It replaced the standing Liberty quarter and quickly became a staple of American coinage. The design was created by sculptor John Flanagan, featuring Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse, symbols deeply tied to American patriotism. Over the years, the Washington quarter has seen multiple changes in composition and design, but the core elements have remained consistent, making certain years and minting quirks highly collectible. Now, focusing on the 1983 large date Washington quarter with the P mint mark error, this coin stands out because the Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark, typically did not add a mint mark on quarters until 1980. Thus, quarters from earlier years are commonly without mint marks if minted in Philadelphia. However, the 1983 large date quarter showing the P mint mark represents a rare anomaly. The large date refers to the slightly larger and more pronounced digits in the year's inscription compared to the standard 1983 quarters, and this is a key factor that collectors look for. What makes this coin even more fascinating is the error on the P mint mark itself. Mint mark errors can occur during the die creation or striking process, leading to doubled, misplaced, or distorted mint marks. The 1983 large date quarter with the P error mint mark exhibits characteristics of a doubled mint mark, sometimes referred to as a double die mint mark. This type of error is particularly prized because it is the result of a misalignment or multiple strikes during the die-making process, making each coin unique. Regarding mintage, the 1983 Washington quarters had a high production run with over 534 million coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. However, the specific error coins with the large date and P mint mark error are extremely rare. Only a few specimens have surfaced in the collector's market, which directly contributes to the coin's extraordinary value. The rarity is compounded by the fact that most of these error coins remain unidentified due to their subtle differences from normal coins and the overall large mintage. Collector interest in this coin is driven not only by its rarity, but also by the story it tells about minting practices and errors. For numismatists, owning a coin with a recognized mint error connects them directly to the history of the Philadelphia Mint's operations and the intricacies of coin production in the early 1980s. Additionally, this coin appeals to those who appreciate modern mint errors as a growing segment within the coin collecting community. The condition of the coin, interestingly, is dirty or circulated, which usually lowers value in typical coin markets. However, for error coins, condition can be secondary to the uniqueness of the error. Many collectors prize these coins because their error status overshadows wear and tear. When such a coin appears at auction, bidders recognize the potential rarity and historical value, driving prices to staggering heights. In today's auction market, a 1983 Washington quarter large date with P error mint mark in dirty condition has been known to fetch prices in excess of $100,000. This valuation reflects not only the rarity of the error, but also the demand from collectors who specialize in modern mint errors and Washington quarter variations. The coin's journey through auctions has shown that even among modern coins, unique anomalies can generate extraordinary excitement and investment potential. To summarize, this 1983 Washington quarter with the P mint mark error is a remarkable example of how even coins from the late 20th century can achieve monumental values due to rarity, error status, and collector demand. Its historical context as part of the iconic Washington quarter series, combined with the specifics of the large date variety and the unusual P mint mark, make it a highly sought-after piece in numismatic circles. Whether you are a seasoned collector or a casual enthusiast, this coin exemplifies the thrill of discovering treasure in everyday currency. Moving on to our next coin of the day, the most valuable United States Washington quarter dollar from 1965, large date variety, without a mint mark, presented here in circulated but good condition. This coin, too, commands a striking value in today's auction market, boasting a price well over $300,000, demonstrating the powerful allure of its historical and numismatic qualities. The 1965 Washington quarter occupies a unique place in U.S. coin history. This year marked the final circulation of quarters composed of 90% silver before the transition to the copper-nickel-clad composition that began in 1965. In fact, quarters minted in 1965 do not carry mint marks, as the U.S. Mint temporarily suspended them to combat widespread coin hoarding amid rising silver prices. This absence of mint marks and the composition change is a vital aspect that contributes to the 1965 quarter's collectability. The large date variety is an important detail here. Collectors often distinguish between large and small date variations based on the size and shape of the digits in the year. The large date 1965 quarter features noticeably broader and more open digits, contrasting with the small date variety, which exhibits smaller and more compact numerals. The large date is generally the more common variety, but when combined with certain other factors, such as condition, errors, or provenance, it can achieve significant value. The design of the 1965 Washington quarter remains consistent, with the classic Flanagan portrait of George Washington on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse. This design has been beloved by collectors for decades due to its historic resonance and artistic detail. Even with the transition in metal content, the 1965 quarter preserves the familiar look that has made the Washington quarter an American staple. One of the key points of interest for the 1965 quarter is its place in the historic transition away from silver coinage. The Coinage Act of 1965 eliminated silver from the quarter, half dollar, and dime, shifting to a clad composition to conserve precious metals. Although quarters dated 1965 are technically copper-nickel clad, some experimental strikes and error coins exist, and their discovery adds intrigue and value to the series. Despite being circulated, coins like the large date 1965 quarter without mint mark are highly collectible because of their pivotal role in U.S. coinage history. Collectors often seek these coins to complete sets that demonstrate the transition in composition and design continuity. Moreover, the coin's good condition status implies that while it shows where from circulation, the major details and date remain clearly visible, a crucial factor in maintaining collectible value. In terms of mintage, the 1965 Washington quarters were struck in enormous quantities, numbering over 1.4 billion coins. However, the true rarity and value stem not from low mintage, but from the coin's historical significance and any errors or variations that surface. For example, some 1965 quarters have been found with doubled dies or other striking anomalies, but these are exceptionally rare and can skyrocket the value of a single coin. Collector interest in the 1965 large date quarter is fueled by its status as a bridge between the classic silver quarters and the modern clad issues. It holds appeal not only for traditional coin collectors, but also for investors who recognize the importance of this transitional year in American numismatics. The coin serves as a tangible artifact from a period of significant change in U.S. monetary policy. Currently, in today's auction market, a 1965 Washington quarter large date without mint mark, in good circulated condition, has been known to achieve prices exceeding $320,000. This value is driven by keen collector interest, the coin's historic significance, and the overall trend toward appreciating rare and transitional coins. The auction prices reflect the competitive bidding by serious collectors and investors who understand the coin's importance. In conclusion, the 1965 Washington quarter large date without mint mark in circulated good condition stands as a testament to an important era in U.S. coinage history. Its design continuity, historical context, and the nuances of its minting process all contribute to its desirability and high market value. Whether you're a dedicated collector of Washington quarters or someone interested in coins that tell a larger story about America's monetary evolution, this coin is a standout. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter dollar with the large date and the D-error mint mark is a true gem for collectors, mainly because it combines several unusual features that have fascinated experts and hobbyists alike. To fully appreciate this coin's significance, we need to understand the historical backdrop that shaped its creation. The Washington quarter, introduced in 1932, was originally struck to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Its design by John Flanagan became iconic and remained largely unchanged for decades, making it one of the most widely collected U.S. coins. By 1982, the quarter was no longer made with silver transitioning fully to a copper-nickel-clad composition, and mass production meant billions of quarters circulated daily. However, among this sea of common coins, certain anomalies slipped through the minting process. The large date version of the 1980 quarter features a date that is slightly wider and more pronounced compared to the more typical small date variant. What truly sets this coin apart is the presence of a D-mint mark error, where the letter D, representing the dendermint, appears doubled or misplaced. Such mint mark errors are highly sought after because they reveal the intricacies and occasional imperfections of the coin-making process, reminding us that even in modern times, minting is a complex art prone to human and mechanical flaws. This specific 1980 quarter is particularly striking because it appears in a black color with a dirty condition, which might initially turn off some collectors looking for pristine coins. Yet, paradoxically, this state adds to the coin's allure and rarity. The black patina suggests a unique chemical reaction over time, possibly from environmental exposure or the coin's interaction with certain substances, giving it an almost otherworldly appearance. While some might see dirt and discoloration as damage, seasoned collectors recognize that these surface qualities, combined with the error mint mark, create a coin that stands out dramatically from typical quarters. It is a tangible piece of minting history with a story written in every mark and tone. The mintage numbers for the 1980 Washington quarter are immense, with billions struck between Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. However, the large date variety is less common than the small date, and the D-mint mark error variant is exceptionally rare. This rarity, combined with the unusual surface coloration, means that these coins are not often seen in the marketplace, making them a prized acquisition for advanced collectors specializing in modern minting errors and varieties. Collector interest in this 1982 large date D-error black quarter has surged in recent years. Auctions featuring this coin type have recorded jaw-dropping bids, sometimes exceeding $474,000. The premium comes from the fact that this coin ticks many boxes for numismatic rarity, modern era, identifiable error, unique appearance, and limited availability. Additionally, collectors in the 50 to 75 age group appreciate such coins for their blend of historical narrative and investment potential, often seeking coins that are not only valuable but also serve as conversation pieces. This coin fits that mold perfectly, telling a story about the Denver Mint's production challenges and the unpredictable nature of coin circulation. Beyond the auction house, the 1982 quarters error and surface color are a reminder that coins are living artifacts affected by time, environment, and chance. This gives each specimen a uniqueness that cannot be replicated, increasing collector demand. Specialists who study minting errors consider this coin a prime example of late 20th century mint anomalies, and it often appears in top-tier collections. The blackened surface, while untraditional, provides a natural patina that many collectors prize for its originality and the authenticity it conveys about the coin's journey through time. The value of this coin, conservatively estimated at $474,000 or more in the current auction market, reflects its status as one of the most coveted modern quarter errors available. While common quarters from 1982 are nearly worthless in circulated condition, this specific variety elevates the coin into the highest echelons of numismatic rarity and investment grade. For anyone seeking a truly unique piece with a compelling backstory and massive potential for appreciation, the 1982 Washington quarter large date D error in black dirty condition is a standout choice. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!